Everybody, as I am sure you have heard, there is a lot that's going on here in Washington, D.C. So let me say a few words and try to explain it. Bottom line, after all is said and done, is that after months of negotiations, Senate Democrats and House Republicans reached an agreement called a continuing resolution, which would continue to fund the government for 3 months. Frankly, that agreement was not something that I was all that excited about, but it was better than nothing. And I was prepared and am prepared to vote for it. And one of the reasons is that it contained a reasonable increase in funding for primary health care, something that I feel very strongly about and that my committee, the Health, Education, Labor, and Pension Committee, is responsible for. And given the enormous crises that we're facing in healthcare in this country today, it really would be of help to many millions of Americans.
Yeah, the only problem with this bill, it was filled with wasteful spending as well. So we have to choose. We should not put everything in the same bill, in the same basket, and vote together everything.
What this legislation would do is significantly, or modestly at least, increase funding for community health centers all over this country, which treat about 30 million Americans who are low income or working class. And it would also increase the number of young doctors who go out into rural America and also into underserved areas. That is where we need the doctors and the nurses, and that's what this legislation would do. In any case, within the House of Representatives, the Republican House, and the Democratic Senate, there was widespread agreement on this resolution. And it was just about ready to be passed. In fact, the Republicans posted it on their website. We were ready to go.
If this bill would have passed, it would have been disastrous, if you ask me.
But then, out of nowhere, the wealthiest man in the world, Elon Musk, began tweeting his opposition to this legislation. In fact, he was very blunt about it. He told Republicans that if they voted for this proposal, which they had already agreed to do, he would take out his wallet and spend as much money as it took to defeat them in primaries and drive them out of office. You got that? Take a deep breath and appreciate what's going on here.
Yeah, I think he's wrong about that. Elon Musk only has this power because he is an advisor to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump trusts him, and Donald Trump put him in the position at the head of the Department of Government Efficiency to cut wasteful spending. This ultimately is a decision from Donald Trump and J.D. Vance to, on the advice of Elon Musk, to do something about it or not. It's not the doing of Elon Musk, not totally.
The wealthiest person in the world, who spent at least $277 million to elect Donald Trump in a Republican Congress, has now claimed complete ownership of that party. And what he is saying is, hey, Republicans, forget your constituents, forget your constitutional responsibilities. If you don't do what I, Elon Musk, want you to do, you're out of office. And I have the money to do just that. My friends, what we are looking at here has nothing to do with democracy. What we are looking at here is oligarchy. This is up and up.
Ultimately, people agreed with Elon Musk. Elon Musk put a proposal on the table, and Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy and many other people agreed with what Elon Musk was saying. Some of the followers of Elon Musk agreed with this bill as well, and it was ultimately the will of the people. This is what a populist government does. A government that obeys to the will of the people.
Government by the billionaire class for the billionaire class. And by the way, Musk is not only trying to intimidate Republicans, he is trying to inject himself into the Democratic Party as well. he is threatening to target Democrats who are standing up to him and his agenda. Further, and very dangerously, and this is the guy you know who owns Twitter, as part of his campaign to defeat this resolution, Musk has been spreading an enormous amount of disinformation and outright lies about what is in the bill.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Bernie Sanders right there. I agree that Elon Musk now has an enormous amount of power, money, and influence. I agree that Elon Musk is not aware of all of the information and only pick and choose what he posts on X and to his followers and what the public knows about. And I agree that we live in a world where the more money you have, the more power you can get. And that is the case for Elon Musk, unfortunately.
He said that the measure would include a 40% pay raise for Congress. That's a lie. It is a 3.9% increase, the same as federal employees are receiving. He said that this legislation would fund bioweapons labs. Not true. In fact, it provides funds to protect Americans from emerging infectious diseases. He said that the country would be just fine if the government shut down. Really? Here's what happens if Mr. Musk gets his way and the deal implodes. Funding for kids' cancer research gets cut. At a time when we are already paying the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs, pharmaceutical middlemen will be able to continue to overcharge you for your prescriptions.
Yeah, this is sad to see. The situation of the healthcare system in this country is probably the worst in any developed country, if you ask me, and this definitely needs to change.
Americans recovering from devastating floods, fires, and hurricanes, often due to climate change, won't get the help that they need. That's what happens if the proposal goes down. And what happens if the government shuts down? Well, our troops won't get their paychecks. Nearly 7 million women and children who rely on WIC nutrition assistance could go hungry. And 2 million federal government workers, some of whom don't make a whole lot of money, won't be getting paid. Now, let us be very clear. Elon Musk was not elected to be president of the United States. In fact, he was not elected to be dog catcher. And by the way, what all of this hoopla is really about, above and beyond everything I'm talking about, is that when Trump and Musk come into power in late January, do you know what their first order of business will be? You think it'll be to fix healthcare? You think it'll be deal with climate change? Deal with homelessness? Well, if you thought that, you're dead wrong. Their first order of business will be to provide massive tax breaks for the wealthiest people in this country and the largest corporations. So,
yeah, hopefully this is not the case. Hopefully they do something else. We will see what happens. We will see if Trump and Musk and all the people that support Trump actually keep their promises and improve the life of the American people. End wars all over the world, bring prosperity and peace back into the world, cut down on inflation and the cost of living, and of course, stop illegal immigration. We will see what happens. But for now, we can just hope and pray that everything will be fine.
think about it. At a time of unprecedented income and wealth inequality, when Musk himself is worth almost $500 billion, what these guys want to do is give more tax breaks to billionaires and the heads of large corporations. So where do we go from here? Let us understand the gravity of what we are dealing with. This is not politics as usual. This is not just Democrats versus Republicans, conservatives versus liberals or progressives. It's much deeper than that. What we are dealing with right now is that the billionaire class, which owns so much of our economy, which owns so much of our media, they are now moving aggressively to own our political system as well. So we got a lot of work in front of us. We've got to educate, we've got to organize, and we have got to stop them. Thank you very much. Have a great holiday season.
Thank you, Bernie, for this interesting speech. I appreciate what you had to say. This was a great video. Well thought out, well explained. And I agree that the problem with the political system in the United States is you can only access the highest position, the highest political position, meaning at the head of the White House, if you have a lot of money. You basically need to be a billionaire to be president of the United States, or you need to accept the money of billionaires, the donors class, the elites that dictate what you are going to do in the White House to be president of the United States. One or the other. Either you have the money or you take the money from people who have the money to be president of the United States. And this means that in any case, the richest people control how we live. It's very sad to see that only the rich make the decision on how we should live our lives. And of course, now that Elon Musk is a primary advisor of Donald Trump, who is the most powerful man in the world, the president of the United States, of course, he's gonna advance his own position. He's gonna make decisions and promote bills that advantages him and his businesses. That's totally normal. That's what any businessman would do. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. The capitalistic world, where the more money you have, the more power you have, and the more money you can make. And Elon Musk competitors, of course, will have a tough fight to fight against him. His influence, his power, his money, his businesses. It's very sad to see, but hopefully we can do something about it. Let's see what they are saying in the comment section under this video. America is an oligarchy with unlimited political bribery. Jimmy Carter. I agree that should not be the case. That only the richest people have access to the highest position of power. Got a comment for the algorithm. This one needs to be seen by 1 million at the very least. You should release the video file so we can share it en masse. Yeah, best first step would be for all of us to start calling lobbying what it is: corruption. We are seeing history unfold. I pray for all Americans and everyone in the world we can unite and resist their plutocracy. This is what people are saying in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Are you for Elon Musk cutting down the government, having so much power and influence by the side of Donald Trump, or are you against it? Let me know what you think in the comment section below this video. I really appreciate you being here as always. Thanks for watching, and click right there to watch the next video, and I will see you there. Bye bye for now.